Why did I choose Battlefield Earth, you might ask? Well, it's a very important film for me. I tie it in with a big event in my life. It was basically the day that I was the only person in my fire academy who didn't get a job at a particular fire department. So that was a very, very big day. See, what happened was we all were on the hire list. Everyone in our academy was getting hired, and to celebrate, one of the guys said, "Hey, let's go see this movie, Matt." And I asked what it was. He said Battlefield Earth. I was like, "Ooh," but I was going to be his brother in arms, or in fire hoses, brother in fire hoses. So I said, of course, I'll go see this movie with you. And of course, I didn't really enjoy the movie very much, but uh, basically, I came out that day going, that was kind of a movie. And the very next day, I got a phone call saying, "Oh, by the way, we're not hiring you." And I said, "Well, wait a minute. Why not? Everyone else in the academy got hired, except for me and this other guy, and the other guy just didn't want the job." And they said, "Well, because we saw you coming out of Battlefield Earth last night, and we don't want someone who would go to that movie openly, working for our fire, working for the city, saving the people of this city." And I was torn because the guy who I went with had already gotten his hire letter. And I could have said, "Well, what about this guy?" But that would have been throwing him under the bus, and you can't do that to a brother. So here I was, not getting the job, and the guy that I went with was getting the job. See, what happened was the moment that the person from HR spied me coming out, because they send people to follow you. They want to see what you do, what kind of fast food you eat, things like that, what movies you go to. And the person that I was with, when HR spied me coming out of the theater, had happened to turn his head because someone called his name. So HR only saw the back of his hair, and they assumed, oh, Matt's with his uncle or cousin or grandfather. They never saw who it was. So it's a slightly painful moment. The funny thing is, about 5 years after that, the fellow who I was with admitted to HR that he had been at Battlefield Earth with me. But by then, they couldn't do anything. Oh, they were upset, but he had union protection, unless he was caught smoking pot or something, but which he wasn't. Uh, he had union protection, so he even put a Battlefield Earth poster in the station one day. That's what I've heard. Um, I had a little bit of get back. One time at a pizza place, I ran into the HR person, and I said, I heard that you discovered that so and so was at Battlefield Earth with me that day, and you could see the steam coming out of the HR person's ears, and I knew I'd gotten them a little bit, except I couldn't revel in it very long because I had to quickly go back to bussing his table.